investing in ourselves is not overtly the topic or the theme of Tisha B'Av at all, but the truth is, when we dig a little bit deeper, and later on I want to talk about exactly how and why, investing in ourselves really is very much a very big theme of Tisha B'Av. And before we get to how and why it's connected to Tisha B'Av, I want to talk a little bit first about the idea generally of investing in ourselves. Now, investing in ourselves has a lot in common with, with generally investing. When we talk about investing generally, when you hear the term investing, just generically, what it refers to generally, what people mean by that is investing in our future financial well-being. What does investing mean? Right, let's talk about that just for a second, about the definition of investing. Investing means allocating resources to a specific undertaking in the belief that this undertaking will result in a positive outcome that justifies that allocation of resources. Hence the term ROI, return on investment, right? The investment is the allocation of resources. We allocate resources when we talk about investing in our financial well-being. Generally, we're investing money, we're allocating money towards an undertaking, which may be the stock market, it may be a business, whatever it is. And we do that with the understanding and belief that allocating resources to buy shares in this company, in this range of companies, in this business, whatever it is going to contribute to our long-term financial well-being to a degree that justifies investing that money and not having it available to spend, right? So that's what investing means. Investing means we allocate resources to something because we believe that it will give us a return on that investment. It'll give us a positive outcome that makes it worthwhile to allocate those resources rather than have them immediately available for other uses. So generally, we talk about investing. People think of it as investing, let's say, in the stock market, in startups, whatever it is. So we invest in our financial well-being, in our future long-term financial well-being, let's say. That's what we generally think of when we talk about investing, or most people do anyway. We can invest in the stock market, we can invest in our own business. And again, it's the same thing. When we invest in our business, we take money that we have, generally, people invest a lot of time and effort into their own businesses too, but let's talk about just even if it's the money. If we're investing money into our own business, that means we're taking money that belongs to us personally, allocating it to be used for that business, to help the business grow and be able to maybe scale up and become more profitable to a degree that will justify the fact that we don't have that money available for spending because it's made the business grow so much that it's going to give us a return on that investment. It's going to make the business sufficiently more profitable to make it worthwhile to not have that money available to spend. So we can invest in, in a stock portfolio, we can invest in our own business. And now understanding what investing means, the term investing means allocating resources to something with the understanding and expectation it'll give us a positive outcome that'll make it worthwhile. So what does that mean when we talk about investing in ourselves? It means the same thing. It means allocating resources, and those resources may be time, it may be effort, it may be money, maybe other things, but those are probably, the three really big ones. In allocating those resources towards developing ourselves, towards improving ourselves, making ourselves better than we were or better than we are now in the future, becoming better, developing ourselves. That's what personal development means, developing our person. With the understanding and or hope that the benefit that we'll get by the improvements that we'll have as we develop ourselves will make it worth having spent that money rather than having spent it on other things, which is why it's an investment. We're investing in ourselves, allocating resources to improve ourselves because the benefit, the positive outcome, the ROI will be worthwhile and will justify having spent that money. And all the different things, we can invest in ourselves with education. We can strengthen maybe a specific skill set that we want to get better at and that we think will contribute somehow to the value of our lives, to our quality of life, maybe to our, to our professional capacity, our capacity to earn whatever it might be. We can invest in our health, in our well-being. And anytime we want to improve our skill sets, our level of education, our health, whatever it is, in order to grow and to develop ourselves, to achieve self-development and develop in any of these areas, we need to invest. We need to allocate resources in order to make that happen. It doesn't happen by itself. We don't just wake up one morning and all of a sudden we know more about something and we're better educated, or all of a sudden our skill set has just grown and all of a sudden we're better at something, or all of a sudden we're just healthier overnight. It doesn't work that way. The way that we become better educated, the way that we improve our skills, the way that we strengthen our skills, the way that we improve our health is by investing time, generally time and effort, and possibly also money, into making that happen, into making those improvements and developing ourselves in these areas. Now, this is not primarily what I want to focus on, but it is important to mention. It's very important to clarify, and so I want to just, touch on it maybe for a minute or so. The investing in our own personal physical health. And the Baal Shem Tov, who was the founder of the Hasidic movement, one of the sayings that he's very well known for was that, he said it in Yiddish originally, obviously, but it translates in English to mean that a small hole in the body results in a large hole in the soul. And there's a lot of focus and a lot of emphasis for a lot of people in, developing the soul and building the strength of our soul and developing ourselves internally and spiritually, etc. But ultimately, none of that can come to any fruition or be effective or make a difference in our life or anyone else's if we're not physically healthy, if we don't have the health and the strength to be able to allow those improvements to manifest in action in our interactions with the world around us and our interactions with people around us every day. So for spiritual personal development to be worthwhile, it's important to be as healthy as we can. And the Baal Shem Tov, despite being primarily focused on, to a degree, I guess, to spiritual progress, spiritual growth, spiritual achievements, he made it very clear and made sure that we should never forget and lose focus of the fact that in order for that to matter and to be worthwhile, we have to also make sure that we maintain the health of our bodies. We have to be physically healthy to the degree that we're able to, because without a healthy body, a healthy soul can't do its job. And so physical health is the foundation of our soul's ability to do anything, to be effective, and for investment in personal spiritual growth to be effective and worthwhile. So, the first investment in our spiritual well-being, perhaps, maybe not the first, but an important foundation in our spiritual well-being is investing in the health of our body. And the physical health is the foundation of our ability to be spiritually productive and effective. And working on and investing in the health of our bodies has a tremendous effect that's becoming more and more recognized in the data and in research every day. It has tremendous impact on our mental health, on our emotional health, and again, it's ultimately the foundation and the basis of our spiritual health as well. If you haven't yet, click on the subscribe button, then click on the notification bell to see future videos, and please again share the link wherever you share things on social media, Facebook, wherever it is, WhatsApp groups, WhatsApp status, to help this message reach more people. This has been the Bites of Judaism podcast. This podcast has been made possible by Mr. and Mrs. David and Malki Smetana. If you found it valuable, please leave a 5-star rating and a review. It really does help it reach more people. And tell your friends about it. If you haven't yet, you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms at rabbiglick.link/podcast. To dedicate a future episode of the podcast, send an email to podcast@rabbiglick.com. See you next time.